Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you to Compass Games Live. It's episode 75. I hear they've got the NFL draft going on. I think I saw a comment that I'm praying for the Cowboys. I really don't give a crap about the Cowboys, actually. So too much of an ice hockey fan here. So the Stars made the playoffs, although they limped in very disgracefully by losing, almost lost the game last night. But they're in the playoffs, so yeah, if the Cowboys do well, that's okay. I'm happy with that. But again, pleasure to have you all tonight. I saw some people checking in from some new spots. I see Shreveport, Louisiana. I see Texas. See quite a few locations that I hadn't seen before, Shreveport especially. So welcome from Shreveport. Glad to have you on tonight. We're going to do a few surprises tonight. We'll see how it goes. Going to roll the dice, as Bill Thomas said, about town halls and making decisions. So yeah, we'll give it a shot. But in the meantime, let's definitely get started with a update of sorts. So I want to walk you through is the change in our schedule. And there has been a slight change in the schedule. I'll see if I can zoom in a bit more. I'm just going to focus in on the left column side here for upcoming titles. That's really our focus. So Russian Campaign obviously is the next new game release, but I do need to add that there will be a game releasing ahead of it, and that is because we have a reprint coming for NATO. And NATO, if you're not familiar with NATO, it's actually running right now on Kickstarter. It's down to the last day, last 24 hours to be precise. And if you haven't had a chance to check out the Kickstarter yet, please just go on Kickstarter, do a search for NATO. There's a few bundle offers in there. But yeah, we're down to the last 24 hours. Thanks for the 86 backers. It's always great to get a few backers for the game. So that's wonderful to see. And also just to mention, over on the Compass Games Enthusiast page, big news there is they are now 1,900 members strong. So congratulations to Mark Ruggiero, David White, 1,900. We're getting close to 2,000 members. And again, Facebook's one of our most active social media outlets as far as a lot of great conversations taking place. So kudos on that. And also, I just want to share here regarding NATO, since we're talking about NATO, those that have the first printing, you should have received, as this person has shared, again, from our Compass Games Enthusiast page on Facebook. You should have received some correction counters and a sticker sheet for the map, which has just two small stickers. One was for, I think Nuremberg had a misspelling on it. And then Wuppertal at the bottom there was missing the indicator. I think it was for the number one yellow box, if I'm not mistaken. So had two minor corrections for the map. So we went ahead and provided those stickers so you can attach them to the map that you have already. Now, some questions have come up. What if I didn't purchase NATO directly from Compass, because we automatically will send this out to anybody that we have on our direct order list. So you just want to send an email to sales@compassgames.com. That will go to our headquarters, our offices, and they'll make sure. They don't care how you got a copy of the game. They just want to make sure you're covered. We want to make sure you're taken care of with NATO, with that first edition. Obviously, for those getting the new edition, you'll receive the fixes obviously as well. So you're going to be all set. So we want to make sure everybody's all set. So if for some reason you didn't get this mailing and you have NATO, please send an email to sales@compassgames.com. So that's really just the main point on that one. So NATO is going to be shipping ahead of Russian Campaign because that's a reprint. So we don't put reprints generally on this upcoming new releases section. But we did have a change. As Bill mentioned last Thursday, he was going to probably call an audible. And yes, he did not disappoint. He did declare an audible because enemy action Kharkov, as you can see here, is next up after Russian Campaign. It had actually slid behind Test of Faith. So Test of Faith, if you want to follow the racetrack notes here, Test of Faith dropped 2 slots. Kharkov moved up, and then we slipped in, and this moved up several spots. Paper Wars 101 has jumped way up in the release schedule. So after Kharkov, we've got Paper Wars 101, and then we've got Test of Faith, and then everything else pretty much follows the order we've already traditionally had for the past 2 months or so since we posted this schedule. So again, just to focus again just on what's coming up in the short term, NATO is next, probably next week is NATO because Kickstarter is ending tomorrow. Then we have Russian Campaign, which will follow that. I know a lot of people want Enemy Action Kharkov. You've probably seen John Butterfield's posted, I know, some photos of his designer preview copy he's received, and a lot of people are excited about what they saw. So yeah, we're excited to get that game out. And then we've slotted up Paper Wars, which will be a double map edition, by the way. So this is a larger Paper Wars because it's 2 maps in the magazine. So a larger game in that issue. And then Adam Starkweather for a Test of Faith, and then Death in the Trenches, that new edition is coming, so on and so forth. So you'll see the schedule on our website. And if you have any questions, let us know. Happy to answer any questions you may have. What I'd like to do now is I'm going to quit sharing just for a moment, and I want to we're going to do an update on our Learn to Play sessions, which Maurice Fitzgerald, the Mo's Game Table, takes care of. So Mo, welcome tonight. Glad to have you here.
Yeah, it's great to be back, John. Always
no hockey game to call tonight, right? No hockey.
No, we played on Tuesday night. We're playing tomorrow night, and Saturday will be the last 2 games of the homestand, and then if they win at least one of those games, it's going back to Rapid City. So it should be interesting.
That's great. Well, I think you have an announcement for Learn to Play, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yes, I do. Next Saturday, May 7th at 2 p.m., we will be having Barbarians at the Gates with Chris Van Bearden. So take note that it is a Saturday Learn to Play, not the standard Wednesday night Learn to Play. It's going to be a Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you can, come to it. If you can't, obviously, we'll still have the recording. But if you're there live, you can ask the questions of Chris if you have any questions about the game.
Well, I think we were talking a lot about Compass swag and doing Compass merch. So if you notice here, we don't have any logos with Compass yet. The closest I could find is this letter C on a hat. So I'm going to call this my Compass swag for tonight.
Hey,
I have to go cheap. I have to find a workaround because Bill's not giving us the green light on the Compass merch yet. We're gonna deploy Brittany, I think, as a drone strike to try to push through the merch, the merch effort here. But I'm going to go with this generic C in the meantime. So hold me to that. So
we can get Compass sticker and put it on a hoodie, so that way you have a Compass hoodie too.
There you go. Yeah, get some stickers. That's a good idea. I could put those NATO map stickers on my shirt maybe or something. Fango Wolf, that's a reminder. So it's on Discord, correct?
Discord. Yes, it's on Discord as always. So make sure that you can check it out in the Compass Enthusiast group. I just posted it there and also created the event, which will have the Discord link. If you don't know the Compass Discord link, you can go to the Compass webpage also, and you can see it at the top right. You'll be able to get it from there. And if you're not already part of the Compass Discord, you're missing out. So make sure you're part of the Compass Discord and meet up with some other Compass fans. And that way you can not miss out on any of the Learn to Plays or any other announcements of videos. Like we just did the one, speaking of NATO, of the final one for NATO, the War of Nerves scenario that Bruce and I did. That we posted this week. So
that's great. Just this week I saw that. So that's awesome. We gotta get the word out on that one. I'll include it in our next newsletter. We didn't do a newsletter this week, but we'll definitely include it next week. Sure. And then looks like we have employed our drone. So our drone's been deployed. So Brittany is confirming the drone is deployed, and now Bill is on lookout for that. So hopefully we'll have some luck on that. Perfect timing to let Mo know. So I do know as far as Learn to Plays, we're trying to align them. Well, Mo, why don't you explain how we're trying to align the Learn to Play, since you're in charge of that?
Well, we're trying to do a few things with Learn to Plays. Some things will be announced later, but right now what we're trying to do is trying to get them as close to game releases as possible. When possible, we'll also squeeze in other games like the existing one, World War II Commander, or any other game, an existing game that's been out there for a while. But the goal now going forward is to try to get the games that are as close to release as possible. Like we just did War for America. Yep. Prior to that, we did, as John's showing right there, we did Red Poppies 3. Yep. So, and that's an existing game. It's been out a while. So
it's been out
going forward though, we're trying to get some newer games, and we may also be doing some other things, but we'll talk about that at a later time, because we're trying to work on some things.
So I know that's something we're trying to do. I know folks, it's always good when you get a brand new game, you want to get right into it, and Learn to Play is going to be a great way if we can time that closer to these releases. And then, play catch-up mode on some other games that have been out for a while. And World War II Commander, Battle of the Bulge is a great playable, fun game that I think Pacific Tide's another great one as well. So
we did that with a lot of titles out there. Imperial Tide, we got that close to release too. That was the first one we did close to release. So that's something we're trying to do, is get as much out there for everybody as close to release as possible to make the learning curve a lot easier for everybody.
Exactly. And Brian says he's just saying kudos on, I think that's the Battle of the Bulge game, John Butterfield game he's talking about there, not enemy action Ardennes, but the actual World War II Commander Bulge
Yes.
game. And then got a new tagline for you, Mo, there. So Tic Tac Mo for all Learn to Play.
There you go.
So I think it sounds good. If anybody has any final questions for Mo about Learn to Play or any suggestions, you can hit him up here, or you'll find him on the Discord channel for sure. He's running the whole Learn to Play channels for us. He's also running the Vassal modules and our Vassal channels over on Discord as well. So Mo's very busy. And by special,
I do have one more thing.
Well, yeah, one more thing.
One more thing is if there's anybody interested in and I'm looking for serious people, that's something we can talk about later. That is actually something that's in consideration, Daniel. But what I'm looking for right now is anybody that is especially if you're an experienced player of Third World War, definitely reach out to me because we want to do some testing on something. So if you could reach out to me on Discord or on the Compass Games Enthusiast group, do so if you're interested in testing something out for Third World War.
Okay, perfect. And then just for those wondering if Mo's being kept too busy, he's been actually recruited to work on his first game project for Compass. Well, we won't share the title yet. We'll leave some suspense for now. I think we'll wait until we're further along in the project, and maybe we can do a before and after comparison. That might be a lot of fun, I think. But I guess I'm giving away that it is taking a game that's been published before, and we're looking to update it and improve it. And we're just starting this week, literally just starting on it now. So
not even more than 24 hours old.
That's right. So it's and then so between 3 and 4 a.m. you're now booked. I think that was your last time slot that was available. Unfortunately, no town hall giveaways, no giveaways tonight. Next Thursday will be our next town hall, however. So Mark, keep in touch. Mark your calendar for next Thursday night for whenever we do our town halls. Every other Thursday, we will definitely do the town hall giveaway. So definitely look into that. Yeah, enemy action Kharkov. Definitely, we're looking. I know he's looking at the entire release schedule now. It's a big job, to coordinate on all that. But that's absolutely
especially when Bill changes the release dates.
And I know Gimpy. Thanks, Gimpy's not asking for the Learn to Play. He's actually asking for a copy of the game, I believe, from the Whiskey Charlie session we did.
Yes. Yeah. Recently. He's definitely excited about EA Kharkov. So, I mean, we all are. I think everybody is. That's a great Butterfield design, and it's going to do real well for Compass.
Exactly. And then while you're on, I think it's a good idea just to jump on this for a moment because I know you'll be there. Is I want to share with everybody, we made some updates to the expo page. So as you scroll down, it's our Compass Games Expo in November. Veterans Day weekend. So a few updates have been made. I think this is legible on screen for everybody, hopefully. So I've added the special events to date that we're going to be holding. Of course, there's going to be a lot more. Literally, we just, did a silent launch maybe 3 weeks ago. Didn't announce the expo until maybe a week or two ago. So this is very early on in the process, but when you go to the expo page on our website, you'll see some of the special events planned. So we've already got Gregory Smith as down for many of his designs, and I know there's going to probably be others from Greg that will add to this list. There are some games that don't have a link yet to like a product page because they're going to be new games that are going to be in development or getting ready to be published. Blood in the Sand and British Tank Ace by Gregory Smith. You'll see another title. There's Desert Generals by Ernest Copley. That's a new design from Ernest. And again, also we have designers hosting their own play sessions, whether it's a published game or it's a play test session. So you can see the session type is listed. We're going to try to do more seminars. I know Brittany's going to also assist us with that to make sure we really get it organized better this time around. So I expect we'll have probably more than 2 sessions is my guess. And we're looking for your feedback, everybody, on if you're going to Expo, if do you want to see a particular designer session by themselves, because we're already doing a round table with a bunch of designers like we did last year, which was well received. So just let us know what you think about that. So that's newly posted as of this morning. Also, again, it's very early on in the process. The event doesn't kick off till November, but we're excited about it. So here's the folks that have already sent in their registration forms. I'd say about 65% or so have even put down their game sign up list of what they want to play. Others are probably waiting till they get closer to November. But it's always a good benefit to list games you want to play so you can see them right here. So what happens, and the way we help you with organizing to basically do some pre-event coordination, we list all the game titles that have been selected as a first, second, third choice or an alternative selection. And I think you can have like maybe up to 3 alternatives if you want. So the idea here is we want to obviously get people paired up as their first choice. We use a blue highlight when something's going to be definitely happening, like a special event that we're having with Gregory Smith, with Bill Cooper doing a playtest of Beneath the Southern Cross. Randy Heller doing Bitter Woods tournament as he does every year. But then you'll see a green, wherever you see a green highlight or any type of a background highlight, that's a potential match for attendees to be aware of. So for example, if I look here, down here for Brittany, for example, under, and I'll highlight this so you can see it a little better. So here we have Death in the Trenches, and we've got Brittany and Tony they've both signed up for it. Brittany has her second choice, and then Tony has his third choice, but at least it gives them a lead that maybe they should talk to each other. Maybe they want to get together and play the game. Same here. Tony had a first choice for Imperial Tide, and then Emery Gallant had listed a bunch of Gregory Smith designs, so that's a potential match. So again, you'll see as you scroll through this list, the basic concept again is wherever you see a grouping or a background stripe, that's basically where you want to do that pre-event coordination. And again, to do the pre-event coordination, we list those email addresses, which I had here when I go right here. So again, if you see people's names or you have a potential match, definitely reach out to them by email. That's just a great way to do some pre-event coordination. But again, this is up to date. This has everything for Compass Expo for now. I think the first time it gets posted, people start realizing, maybe I should put my first choice down at least for now, just to get some initial momentum going for a title. And we'll add more designers and special events as we get closer. So just want to let everybody know we're excited to get, Compass Expo prep is officially underway right now. We're updating the website for that, and look forward to having you there, Mo. And like I said, we'll have future discussions about Learn to Play, whether that's something that's going to happen at Compass Expo or not. I know we're going to explore it. So looking forward to that.
Sure. We'll have a lot of fun, and, there's definitely plenty of room for more seminars. So expect, some more announcements on those as time goes by.
Exactly. So I've mentioned already, and last thing before I let you go, Mo, I've mentioned already how really enjoy promoting the success of the Compass Games Enthusiast Group. It's just wonderful to see something so organic. We didn't start it ourselves. It was started by others, and having nearly 2,000 members is really great. But I'd be remiss to not at least recognize that we lost somebody. Al Hay, he goes by the name Al, or William Hay. He was very instrumental for a lot of people. First, he was a great friend. He was here locally in the North Dallas area. So I know, Mo, you live here too, and you know Al very well. And unfortunately, Al, I just learned yesterday that he passed away. So horrible news there. I know he's been having some health issues for quite a while now, but it's just very sad. But we're trying to celebrate his memory. He's quite well known for an incredible job he's done organizing like PDFs of games and Vassal modules.
Yeah.
So he's got a huge repository of files on games. And I have to share with you, one of my first projects with Compass was Red Star White Eagle, the David Williams GDW game. And I didn't have any scans. So scans are very helpful to have digital copies of files so the artist can refer to it, and you can get a Word document for the rules and update it. And you have to do all that from scratch, basically. So having digital scans is very helpful. And Al actually took my hard copy of the game, and he went off to his office and he scanned every component like he did for everything. He scanned every component, the rules, and it just helped move the project forward so much faster for Red Star White Eagle. So he's been a huge help to me personally, and then a great friend. He's actually helped me auction off eBay items. He was my seller, so I didn't have the bandwidth to do it. But I mean, just as a friend, I don't know if you have any memories you can share with Al. I know some people here probably know Al as well, but I don't know if you have any favorite gaming memory. I know you did a lot of gaming with him with the North Texas Gaming Group.
North Texas Gamers, he was very active there. He was always having breakfast with people, meeting up for breakfast beforehand. Yeah. And the group would get together, roughly once a month. And there are people who know him way better than I do. I just knew him kind of peripherally. I didn't know him as well as I would have liked. But Al was a really nice guy. And like I said, the repository he has is just amazing. I mean, it's we're talking just one section. The game section alone is close to like 2,000 games in there scanned. So
he's scanned so many games, and it's wonderful. It's the maps, it's the counters, it's literally the whole game. So
yeah.
It works out great if we're going to like reprint something, right? So, a matter of fact, for your project that you're doing right now, as of a few hours ago, we have a full scan of that game, which Al did. Yeah. so there you go. So he is he's helping us to this day and for the future for sure. So I just want to give a recognition to Al. He's a great friend to many, and we're not going to forget about him. So we've both saved off all his files on his drive. So if the drive goes down, we'll have a share link, and I'll try to add files to it as well. So we're going to definitely keep all his work. We're going to keep it alive. So yeah, thanks for your support on that, Mo. And again, it's great having you up for this update. We'll do it again, I guess, in 2 weeks.
Sounds good.
And thanks for all you're doing for Compass, and we're excited about the next Learn to Play that's coming up.
Should be a lot of fun, and there's even more good stuff in the future. So look
all right, have fun calling the hockey game tomorrow.
Will do.
I'll catch up with you later.
Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, it's great to catch up a little bit. Again, wonderful what Mo's doing, helping Compass in such a big way. I did see the message about will we be perhaps recording things on YouTube that we do on site for Compass Expo. And that's something we're going to try to figure out. You know, I think it's important to try to get things recorded. So that's something we're definitely going to look at. So thanks for that suggestion. It's a great idea. What I want to do really quickly here, we're going to try to keep the session a little bit shorter for tonight, is I want to talk a little bit about a call for play testers. So we have 2 games I want to talk about tonight. And the good news is you're not stuck with me tonight. We're going to invite a special guest, Michael Arrighe, who's going to talk about a game that he's designed, and it's going to be part of our call for play testers. So without further ado, would you please welcome Michael Arrighe. Michael, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, thank you. Appreciate
Great.
it.
Well, thanks for joining us. And what I want to do was I wanted to introduce, or have you introduce rather, the game you've designed. Maybe you can give the history on it. And I'm not going to show the components yet because I'm afraid that's going to take the focus away from what you're going to be talking about. So before I show any of the components, why don't you give a nice elevator pitch, some background on your game that we're making a official call for play testers right now.
Okay, well, first I want to thank you, John, and Bill, and Compass for interest in my game, Sandstorm. It's 2 players on North Africa, basically covering the area from El Alagia to El Alamein. It starts with the Italians in 1940. You can start later, and it ends in December 42. It uses a hex and counter format, but it's a card-based mechanism. And they're called logistics cards because basically they don't limit what you can do. They don't force you to do anything, but they limit how much you can do. And it's a way of drawing in that rubber band effect that's well known for North Africa. The further you go, the more your supplies get stressed.
Yeah, exactly.
Stretched out. One of the key things about it is trying to make sure the game was playable in a moderate period of time. There's some excellent games out there. Some of them can take almost as long as the campaign itself to complete. So I've been able to teach players and do a whole campaign game in 1 day.
Oh, that's wonderful! And one full. That's great.
In one full game. I mean, I'm teaching them, so probably their learning experience is either really fast or really slow, and I just push them along. But yeah, we were able to do the campaign game, and that I recommended when the Germans arrive. But you can start earlier, of course.
I don't think I'd mind doing the Italians in the 40s. I always like seeing what the British do to them. I don't know why. Maybe I'm sadistic or something. But I don't mind 40. It's okay by me.
Yeah, that's the only scripted thing in the game. But anyway, a question you've asked and everybody else asked, can you play it solitaire?
That was my next question, solitaire playability. You're reading my mind.
I know. I played many games solitaire. I think it's playable solitaire because logistics cards, even though when you're playing them face-to-face or in Vassal, they're hidden, you can play them open hand, and you don't lose too much because you're playing both sides sort of to optimize them. There are numerous scenarios. You have 6 different starting points.
Oh,
but again, of course, when the Italians arrive, Compass, when the Germans arrive with Rommel, Crusader, Gazala, and of course you can start with a Monty's Finals offensive in the end of October, Lightfoot and then Supercharge. But also between that, you have a variety of different ending points. So you can pick a starting point and obviously any ending point after that point of time. So you can always play to the end, December 42, or start earlier. So you can play scenarios as short as 2 turns to the full 14-turn game. And 14 turns doesn't sound like a lot, but you'll have logistics cards, and you'll generally have around 4 to 5 card plays per turn.
So that sounds great. Yeah. I'm a huge North Africa World War II fan, by the way. So anything on North Africa, I get really excited about. But yeah, I know your game quite well. I've been following it. Mo just commented he saw your game in San Diego. I know you've done some virtual conferences, some demos of the game, etc. So yeah, we definitely want to get the word out, especially because we're looking for playtesters. And the good news is there's a Vassal module ready to go. So let me just mention this, that anybody who would like to volunteer, we really rely on the community. So if you'd like to volunteer to work directly with Michael on his design, help playtesting, please send an email to me. I've got the easiest email in the world. It's John, John, at compassgames.com. Just let me know, and we'll add you to a site where you can download the Vassal module. Michael's there. Others will be there to help you along. We'll hopefully have a few playtesters involved as a community, small community. And by the way, the game looks awesome. So here's the map. I think, yeah, I love the map. I saw the map and I was like sold. Yeah, and this is just a playtest. And I'll zoom in a little bit here. So again, just to give people a flavor for the detail. And of course, there's a lot of charts and tables, folks, going on here. There's the holding the cards, the discard piles and active cards. And we can't cover all that tonight. And I'm not going to do that on purpose because I want you to be a playtester. I don't want to give away the plot. I want you to sign up to help Michael out with the game. But again, just a beautiful map. I think this could probably be a mounted game project. I'm looking at this right now, and I think this is going to fit as one long map probably that we could probably do as a mounted game project. But yeah, a lot going on here. Looks really cool. Maybe, Michael, I could have you comment about, I'll pull up some of the graphics here. Maybe you can explain what we're seeing here. I'll sort of zoom in and let you sort of tell folks what we see here.
Okay, off on the left, you see a standard logistics card. And up to the upper left, it has point values. They all range from 1 to 3. But every one of them has what's called a headquarters offensive. It's given a title. This one's, for the Ghazala campaign. Yep. But underneath it in smaller print, it says headquarter offensive. And them below that, they're all quite similar, but they all have slightly different variations on how much you can do and how much you can't do. And some of them have a remove at the end. Generally, some of the better ones, they're one-time use. Then to the right, you'll see the allies and axes, sort of standard combat, attack, strength, and movement. We have headquarters. That's where the headquarters offensive use comes in. If you sort of see down below near the DAC headquarters, you'll see a unit with a white stripe. That's the way I designate them in the playtest module, although that one starts reduced. Or in this campaign, it's reduced. It starts reduced, but
when
they
this
flip
white stripe.
over, when they flip over. But that's something I've done for playtest. So this is sort of the beginning position of Ghazala, and you'll see that behind the defense is sort of the standard 3-color, no color, white and red, meaning low, regular, or elite quality troops.
Gotcha.
Orange for motorized versus non-motorized, 2 levels. Because the level is you're the army commander. So these units are all regiments and brigades. Hexes are about 20 kilometers across. So each line of the hex is about 7 miles. Okay, I'm switching between kilometers and miles. Apologize for that.
No problem. No problem.
And you see the armor unit. That has the yellow behind the 8. That means that one's combined arms capable. Not all armor units start out that they're able to use combined arms.
Okay. I assume the Italians probably don't have the Italian armor. Maybe doesn't. I don't know. I'm guessing.
They have a couple of units.
There you go. All right.
But not all of them. And then to actually be combined arms useful, you have to stack them with the combined arm capable infantry unit as well.
Sure.
So it's not just the armor, the infantry.
You have to have the infantry there as well.
that are both combined arms capable, so you can get mismatches. Particularly, you'll see that on both sides. The Italians it might have a combined arms armor, but no infantry, and the British early on, and the Commonwealth early on.
This looks quite good again, and this is actually from the Vassal module, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah,
this
is
screenshot right here. So I might have another one. Maybe this is just another. I think this is another example when things are getting hot and heavy. It looks like I see some big monster stacks, and things are happening here.
Yeah, well, it's the same image, but I've exploded the stack so you can see the units.
I got it. So you can see everything that's stacked. I got you. So yep.
So they kind of overlap in Vassal, but
Sure.
this is the Gazala scenario. The Vassal module has the setups for all 6 scenarios, so you can start with any one that you want. And the easiest one to start with is the Italian offensive, because they just basically march into Egypt and stop.
And a comment from Fango, looks like a grant he sees. Now, to keep in mind, everybody, this is a play test. This is literally, we're looking for play testers. So this is not, the final artwork. It hasn't gone to artwork yet, to the artist. This is all done by Michael, basically, doing all this work, the artwork here. And then we'll go to the art department later. But this for Vassal is great. This is a extremely functional map. It's very easy to read the counters. But yeah, of course, obviously, everything's going to go through the art department with Michael overseeing it as the designer, and anybody else who's helping with the project starting as a playtester can help this project through to the finish line as well. What is the stacking in this game? As a question from Steve.
It's 5 stacking points. Nearly all units are single stacking point, except for the Italian infantry divisions, which are basically two regiments, so that's why they're 2. And recon units have 0 stacking. Headquarters have 0 stacking. So essentially 5 units per hex, except for a few of those.
Great. And Grumbling Grognard's corrected me. Yeah, placeholder art. This is just placeholder art. This is so you can actually play test the game and play it before we put pen to paper and do the official artwork. Frank over on Facebook is asking, can you say a little more, Michael, about how the cards might restrict your options, or maybe how decisions have to be made based on typical card play? I'll bring up a card. So that's a great question. So let me bring up a card here that everybody can see, and I'll zoom in, just zoom the fit here. So there you go. There's I don't know if this is a good card for this question, but whatever you want to do there.
No, I said each card, if you can use it 2 ways. You can use it for its operations points, 1, 2, or 3. Yep. So obviously, you only have 1 point. You can only do 1 type of action.
Right.
With operation points, you can do anything. You can activate units. You can build supply depots. You can improve positions. But each of those is going to cost you 1 or more points, depending on what you're doing. So if you have 3 points, you can do 3 of those things. You can lay mines, build an improved position, and even use 1 point to activate some units. If you're using it for the headquarters offensive, the values there, if you read into it, you'll see you can designate with this card any 1 or 2 headquarters. Some of the 1-op cards say designate only 1 headquarters, so then it gives you more bang for your buck. You think of the cards sort of as high, medium, low level of supply. So 3, you have more supply, more time doing things. With 1, you have a little bit less supply, less time you're doing things. And this one gives you bonuses for the headquarters, so they can actually extend their range and go out another hex to find a group of units to activate. So that's how to operate you. Is basically how much you can do, how many units, or how many actions you can take based on what you're doing.
Obviously, those that become playtesters, you'll learn all this and get the chance to experience it yourself. But we're going to have Michael on for a future session where we're going to go much deeper into this game. But right now, we really want to put out a call for playtesters. Also, just to be fair to everybody that's with us tonight, okay, I'll do the announcements. Trayvon Walker's going to the Jags. This is the NFL. This is the draft that's taking place right now. Aiden is going to the Lions. Ahmad, and then I think we have Ahmad Gardner's gone to the Jets. So everybody is up to date. You do not have to leave this broadcast. We are giving you full ticker tape updates on the NFL broadcast while we're promoting Sandstorm for this playtest opportunity. So again, the game looks great. Again, it's ready to go for playtesting. You got a great idea what it looks like right here. Again, somebody asked what my email was again. So it's John with an H. So it's JOHN at compassgames.com. So John at compassgames.com. Just email me and we will get you set up. We are good to go right now. with playtesting. So we've got the rules, for example, right here, and I'm just going to show you the rules index. So Michael's done a rules index, so to give you a flavor of the details of this. So this is a fairly not overly complex by any means, but just to give you a flavor of the chrome in the game. You can sort of get again, this is just doing a flyby here, but you can see we've got special rules for locations like Benghazi, how the coastal roads work, naval transports. A lot of stuff going on here. So again, just sometimes I like to show off, and again, the rules obviously are part of the playtest package with the Vassal module. But again, lots of stuff. If you look at this, you're a fan of North Africa, you're probably going to say, there's a level of detail here I'm probably going to like. If you're looking for a game with a lot of detail, a lot of decisions, and using the card play for operational decisions, then I guess supply, as Michael was mentioning, you can get a really good flavor for all the mechanics in the game. And then Michael's going to be your professional coach, trainer, to help you learn how to play the game as you get started as a play tester. But I did just want to share the back of the rules. We got a full rules draft ready to go. And you've been playtesting it for some time now, I think, Michael. Is that correct?
Yeah, I first put pen to paper about 7 years ago. Had my first play test probably about 18 months to 2 years later. And then 5 years from now have been going on. The last 2 years have been a little slower with the pandemic, more virtual, less face-to-face.
Sure. Yep, absolutely.
But I've had a lot of great input over the years from a variety of different people. We can debate whether that should be a grant or not on those unit images, but
it's going to be a nice. It's going to be a nice full package, and like I said, I think this will probably end up being a mounted map, which will be great. Really nice production counters and the cards, and I think overall it's going to be a really attractive package. And so for us to get it there, we definitely want to go through playtesting to help Michael out. It's been play tested quite a bit, but he's invested several years in this. So any fans of North Africa, please support Michael. You've been great helping us with all sorts of things, whether it's a proofing exercise or something more involved like this, like playtesting. But we form a great community around everybody that joins virtually to do playtesting. It's a lot of fun, and I hope you'll consider doing it. So, Michael, I'll give you the final word, but I want to thank you just for hopping on tonight so we can put out a proper call, hopefully entice people, give them some eye candy to look at. But I'll leave the final word with you as far as this call for playtesters for tonight.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Like I said, I had good ideas. As we made some changes, always going through a few more times and finding those things that don't work or can be exploited. If you want to read a little bit more about it, go to CSW, Sandstorm in the World War II North Africa. The last several posts give some examples of how things work in the game, or you can look at the Geek, the same thing, Board Game Geek. So I agree, you can never test enough. But
we have to hit an end point at some point too, because we want to get the game published before I sort of keel over. And
well, that's what I'm waiting on now too.
Experience the game in my lifetime.
I spent more time on this than my PhD, I'll have you know.
Oh, well, there you go.
So I don't know if that's good or bad. But
well, we'll talk about your PhD when we have more time. We'll get into more of your background for sure. Absolutely. But
right.
As Gary says, thanks, Gary, for the kind words. And if you're a fan of North Africa, this is a great opportunity for a really interesting game that we're definitely going to be publishing. That's going to get a nice deluxe treatment, like I said, with the mounted map. So definitely give us a shout out, email me, and we'd love to have your support for Michael. Thanks, Michael. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we'll be in touch, obviously, hopefully get some play testing going here starting next week.
Awesome.
Take care. Bye-bye. And I want to give everybody some fair warning, actually. So what I'm going to do here quickly is we're going to try something different, something a little bit different tonight as an experiment if you want to play along. As I said, I was going to take some risk tonight. So I want to introduce to you a concept just for tonight, and that is you can be our VIP guest tonight. So if you're out there watching live right now, I'm going to be posting right now on Facebook and on YouTube. You're going to get a link. Let me tell you what this means. If you click on the link, you're going to enter our broadcast backstage. I'll give you a moment to test your mic, and if you have video support, if you have a video camera, a webcam, you're going to want to just go through a simple configuration to see if your sound's working, that you can hear, that your video's working. And as I see people, if anybody decides to show up live as a VIP, and again, there's no special qualifications for tonight. Literally, you need a computer or a phone or something, and you just need to be able to click on that link I posted, you need to log in, and I'll give you a moment to test out your video and audio, and we can talk about the NFL draft if you want. You can give the latest NFL update. We can talk about the hobby, talk about Compass Games, of course. We can talk about future titles, past titles. So I'm just going to give you that opportunity to, if you want to join us tonight. And again, it's a little more difficult using this platform. There's no way to do a simple call-in. I tried the phone idea, which worked, I think, fine, but I think calling in on a phone and not being able to see anybody and all that's probably not as interesting as having somebody as a live guest. But now you're welcome to hop in here. If you want to hop in, it would be great to have you. So I'll just give that a little bit of time, and I just want to make sure we've got everything covered for tonight in the meantime. So while we're having people decide if they want to join tonight, I do want to share one other thing with you. I mentioned there's going to be 2 separate calls for playtesters, 2 different groups of playtesters tonight. So I did want to mention that we do have another game. And we, as you know about Compass Games, and we talk about this a lot when it comes to like Gregory Smith titles, or especially World War I strategic, where we have like 5 or 6 different World War I strategic games. You can go ahead and, we like to offer, we support all designers. So we don't care if it's the same topic, because we know each design is so unique and so different from each other. So much like we just showed the map for Michael's design Sandstorm, I'm showing to you an early Vassal playtest map for Desert Generals. This is by Ernest Copley. He's going to join us in a future Compass Games Live episode to talk about this playtest request on his side. But obviously, it's a different game. You can see the map. There's less involved. Probably a lower level of complexity. Of course, we'll play faster. But again, you pick your. That's the thing why we do multiple games on similar topics. You pick your passion, or you buy all of them, right? That's typically how it works. So here, as you can see, what we've got going here is we're looking for play testers. I think the only other images I can share right now is we've got some of the counters here. So you can see the counters are right here for the game. Again, it's from Ernest Copley, who's known as the designer of the War Europe and the War the Pacific. And he's going to be at Compass Expo playtesting the War Global, where it's combined, or actually I shouldn't call it a playtest, it's already released, but he'll be doing the War Global again at Compass Expo in November. But again, you can see the counters there, and I do believe I have another counter file right here, which I'll zoom on in here. I think we got the Germans. Yes, got the German units. As you can see here, 21st Panzer on the top, 15th Panzer. Of course, we got some Littorias, we got the Italians, Arietta, etc. So again, we've got all types of units there. So again, another call for action that we would love to have you volunteer. So email me at john@compassgames.com. Let me know if you're interested in both games to play test, or if you'd like to try Michael's Sandstorm, or if you'd like to try Ernie's game Desert Generals. So we've got 2 options available for you. You can't go wrong with either one. We support all our designers, and we want to make sure we give ample support for all designers. So again, please email me. Let me know if you would like to go ahead and support our playtest sessions. That would be wonderful. I saw somebody jumped in the video here I was going to invite, but then he dropped off. And then somebody said, for some reason, they weren't seeing the link on Facebook. So I don't know if somebody on Facebook can post it at all. But again, I think Mo posted it on Facebook already for me. I just post on both YouTube and Facebook. So we'll wait. I'll give it about a minute here, and I'll check. What I'll do in the meantime is I'll check for any final comments from you tonight. So as I promised, a shorter session, less than an hour. I know people want to get back to the NFL draft, but I think we covered a lot of good stuff. We covered the release schedule. Obviously, the release schedule's been updated for sure. Moved up Paper Wars. We got Enemy Action Kharkov coming sooner rather than later. So I think people are excited about that as well. And we talked about, Mo's work on the Learn to Play series. The congrats to the Facebook group hitting 1,900 members, and these 2 games, Sandstorm and Desert Generals. So I know some people said they're getting their kids put to bed, and somebody said they couldn't see the link on Facebook. So hopefully that will get resolved. Thanks for posting that. And Tim is, if you're still at work, we can't help you out. So obviously I don't want to get you in trouble with your employer, but I promise you this, I will do this in 2 weeks. We will in the future. And just to let you know, the reason I can't really put out an advance announcement with the link is because I had 2 special guests tonight. I had Mo and I had Michael. And if I would post a link for people to join as a VIP, if I get too many people to log in at the same time, then Mo's not going to be able to get into the broadcast and Michael's not going to be able to get into the broadcast because there's only so many slots available. So that's why when I do it in the future, especially if there's a special guest, I won't be able to pre-announce the URL, unfortunately, to be an instant VIP with us. I'll have to post it during the session so I can give time for our special guest to log in first for the broadcast. So just to give you a little background on that. But yeah, I'm really excited. Would love to pull some of you in to get your feedback from Compass in a more live manner, a more dynamic way with video and sound. So I'm looking forward to that. But in the meantime, we're going to call it for an episode for tonight. So I just want to thank you guys so much for joining us for episode 75. We will be back next week for another town hall session with Bill. We'll get caught up with him. There's a lot of activities going on with game releases. We'll probably have a new Kickstarter to announce next week as well. So as always, I'm really excited to get together with you guys again next week. In the meantime, have a great weekend. I'll look for those emails for playtesters, obviously. And I'm really excited to see if we can invite some people to work on those 2 designs for playtesters. So again, everybody, thank you so much. And I look forward to talking to you again next week when we join Bill Thomas for our town hall session. Thank you again so much. Bye-bye.